The time is 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by Tilani Pires. Call-in dates for applications for the 2021 GC A-Level and the Grade 5 Scholarship examinations extended. The government takes immediate measures to examine fingertip pulse oximeters and oxygenators in the local market. The 1904 SMS facility introduced to the southern province. The Health Ministry requests plans from the public transport sector to operate it before reopening the country. Lady Ridgeway Hospital says the number of children who are under treatment for COVID-19 has decreased. Flash flooding and tornadoes hit the northeastern U.S. The government has taken immediate measures to examine fingertip pulse oximeters and oxygenators in the local market. The National Medicine Regulatory Authority says that there is a huge demand for these apparatus today due to the mounting number of COVID patients. The authority says State Minister Channa, Professor, has instructed the authority to take immediate measures to inspect all these health-related apparatus. The State Minister has also asked the authority to take stern measures against the sellers who sell substandard apparatus. According to the authority, only 5 supplies are registered to import oximeters to Sri Lanka. It added at a glance many oximeters to be sold in Sri Lanka are fake and counterfeit. The government has also proposed to sell one oximeter at a maximum retail price of 3,000 rupees. The authority said that there is a possibility of a person getting a sudden heart attack or a panic attack due to false readings given by a low-quality and toy-type pulse oximeter. The Education Ministry has decided to extend the call for applications for the 2021 GC Advanced Level and the Grade 5 Scholarship examinations to September 15th. All applications will only be called from the online-based system, the ministry said. Commissioner General of Examinations Sanath Pujitha said applicants are requested to visit the Examinations Department's official website www.doenets.lk or the department's official mobile app DOE and read the relevant instructions carefully and submit the application online accordingly. He said government school candidates should apply for the above examination using the usernames and passwords already given to the principals of the relevant schools. Private applicants are required to complete the application form in person in accordance with the relevant instructions. It is also instructed to obtain a hard copy and keep it safe with them to present if required. The Health Services Deputy Director General Dr. Hemantha Herath says plans should be submitted to organize how public transportation would operate before reopening the country. Addressing the media today, he said if proper plans for public service are not announced, the government will again be forced to go for another lockdown. He said that he is requesting from all those who are responsible for the transport services that it will not be possible to resume transporting people after opening the country. Dr. Hemantha Herath added it is important to prepare and publish the plans to make sure that the transport sector will function in accordance with that plan. As long as the congestion in the existing transport continues, it will not be easy to control the spread of the COVID-19 virus, he added. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The 1904 SMS facility to manage and provide information on COVID-infected patients treated under home quarantine procedure has been introduced to the southern province from today. The 1904 SMS facility was only available in the Western Province and now extended to the Southern Province from today onwards. The Health Ministry says immediate hospitalization of patients with respiratory distress as well as complications due to COVID-infected patients with other symptoms are referred to appropriate treatment centers. It added asymptomatic patients are managed at home. People who are suffering from COVID infection in the southern province should send a text message to 1904 with their date of birth and address giving a brief description of the symptoms. The ministry said the letter A in the alphabet should be typed in English if there is a respiratory disorder and other complications. The letter B should be typed if there is fever and other symptoms, and the English letter C if there are no symptoms. The director of the Lady Ridgeway Hospital, Dr. G. Vijay Surya, said the number of children who are under treatment for COVID-19 at the hospital has decreased to 95 by now. He said nearly 200 children were being treated at the hospital a week ago. He added this was a good sign and that he believed that this decline is a positive impact of the lockdown and the vaccination program. The director also said that about 30 to 40 children were admitted to the hospital daily and that the daily admissions had come down to 10 to 15 by today. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party celebrates its 70th anniversary today. The SLFP has arranged an island-wide blood donation campaign and a commemorative ceremony. The commemorative ceremony was held at 10 a.m. at the party head office, and organizers island-wide participated in the ceremony virtually due to the current COVID-19 pandemic. Party leader, former President Maithripala Sirisena said the party had to celebrate its anniversary at this critical juncture. He said the party is ready to serve Sri Lanka in a public-spirited way further. State Minister Dayasiris Jayasekara, General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, issuing a statement to mark the event, said the Sri Lanka Freedom Party will continue to uplift the country and the party by producing people-oriented, humanitarian and dedicated leaders for the country. The SLFP was founded by the fourth Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, the late SWRD Bandaranaike, in 1951, and since then it has been one of the two largest parties in the Sri Lankan political arena. The Health Minister Keheliya Rambukwala says the ministry has commenced administering the COVID-19 vaccine to those between the ages of 18 to 30 today. The vaccination program commenced at district level, said the Health Minister. A statement from the Health Ministry noted that the ministry instructed relevant officials to expedite the vaccination program for the 3.7 million people between the ages of 18 to 30. He also said that frontline health workers in the age group, as well as those attached to certain essential services between 18 to 30, were already given the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Minister noted that all those over the age of 30 will be fully vaccinated within another 3 weeks. The Health Minister urged all Sri Lankans to obtain the vaccine. That ends local news for now.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The Education Ministry has decided to extend the call for applications for the 2021 GCE Advanced Level and the Grade 5 Scholarship Examinations to September 15th. All applications will only be called for the online-based system, the ministry said. Commissioner General of Examinations, Sanath Pujita, said applicants are requested to visit the Examinations Department's official website, www.doenets.lk, or the department's official mobile app, DOE, and read the relevant instructions carefully and submit the applications online accordingly. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight.
The Minister of Health urges the public not to go out of the house except for a matter of emergency. The Deputy Director of Public Health Services of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Susi Pereira, says it is compulsory to get the proper results of the lockdown mechanism. The community medicine specialist points out that the Delta strain is spreading faster than other strains of COVID-19. She stresses that persons should not even consider visiting their neighbors. Dr. Susi Pereira further emphasized the importance of wearing masks and keeping a distance of at least 2 meters when people are in the queue waiting to be vaccinated. It is also stressed not to go with their little ones without masks to the vaccination centers. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News.
The headlines first of the world news. Flash flooding and tornadoes hit the northeastern US. Afghanistan women cricket teammates are in hiding. Anti-government protesters are back on the streets in Thailand. Anti-government protesters angry over the government's response to the coronavirus pandemic are back on the streets in Thailand. Thousands of protesters rallied in the capital Bangkok on Thursday in defiance of a ban on public gatherings due to the pandemic. They are demanding that Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha step down. The rallies began more than a year ago with the protesters seeking political change, including reform of the monarchy. However, the protest movement slowed due to the pandemic and because charges were brought against the leaders under the country's less majestic law. Debate on the no-confidence vote is taking place in Parliament this week. The opposition is focusing on the government's handling of the pandemic and the economic fallout from the crisis. At least 9 people have died after flash flooding and tornadoes hit the northeastern US. Local media reports some people were trapped in flooded basements of their homes, while one body was found in a vehicle that was swept away. The governors of New York and New Jersey declared a state of emergency. Almost all New York City subway lines have been closed and non-emergency vehicles banned from roads. Many flights and trains out of New York and New Jersey have been suspended. NBC and AFP reported that 7 people had died in the New York City, some after becoming trapped in their basements. Footage on social media showed water pouring into subway stations and people's homes and flooded roads. Afghanistan women cricket teammates are in hiding. BBC reported members of the Taliban have already come looking for Afghanistan's women's cricket team. Teammates say every woman playing cricket or other sport is not safe right now and the situation is very bad in Kabul. A team member said she has barely stepped out of her home since the Taliban entered Kabul and has locked her cricket kit away. Taqwa, who is using a pseudonym, was involved in Afghan women's cricket. For many years, managed to flee the country after Kabul fell. In the week before she got out, she moved from house to house to avoid being detected. Back to the world news headlines. Flash flooding and tornadoes hit the northeastern US. Afghanistan women cricket teammates are in hiding. Anti-government protesters are back on the streets in Thailand. That ends World News.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melva RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melva RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
The Minister of Agriculture plans to produce 50,000 metric tons of organic fertilizer using the Eppavala phosphate deposit for the first time. This program has been implemented jointly by the Lanka Phosphate Company, the Scientech and the Colombo University. The ministry said this would be the first step of a national plan to manufacture required organic fertilizer locally. That was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melva RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melva RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
On to sports news. Sri Lanka Cricket has appointed former Sri Lanka cricketer and A-team coach Avinshka Gunawardena as the new head coach of the Sri Lanka under-19 cricket team. He succeeds another former Sri Lanka veteran cricketer, Hashan Tilakaratne, who was the coach till the last Under-19 World Cup in 2020. Another former cricketer, Mahinda Halangoda, has been appointed manager of the Under-19 team, a role he will take up until the end of the Under-19 World Cup, Sri Lanka Cricket said. That ends Sports News.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cargill's Ceylon PLC has launched a project to bring the Timbiri trees back to Timrigasaya, where Timbiri trees, widely believed to be the inspiration for the town name, were planted along the main road along Timrigasaya. The Road Development Authority, RDA, and the Forest Department also assisted in making this event a reality. The company pledged to plant as many trees as possible within Colombo and across the country. Cargill's partnered with the Colombo Municipal Council, CMC, and undertook the planting of trees at Fort and Timrigasaya recently. In line with this campaign, Cargill Ceylon PLC said they are planning to plant Karanda trees at the premises of the renowned red and white Cargill's building in the heart of Colombo. That was Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
And on economic news, Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi stresses the importance of formulating an urgent program to generate new income avenues in the transport sector. She says it can be launched through the existing and new projects to revive the country's economy affected by the pandemic. She made these remarks at a meeting with ministry officials and heads of all institutions coming under the Transport Ministry. The meeting was convened to discuss ongoing development projects and the proposed new projects through Sri Lanka Railways, Sri Lanka Transport Board and the National Transport Commission. That came to you in economic news.
Weather report.
Finally, the weather report. The Met Department says several spells of showers or thunder showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and northwestern provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the northern, eastern and Uva provinces, especially in the evenings. Showers or thunder showers can be expected in the northern province in the mornings too. That was the weather report. And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. Calling dates for applications for the 2021 GC A-Level and the Grade 5 scholarship examinations extended. The government takes immediate measures to examine fingertip pulse oximeters and oxygenators in the local market. The government takes immediate measures to examine fingertip pulse oximeters and oxygenators in the local market. The Health Ministry requests plans from the public transport sector to operate it before reopening the country. The 1904 SMS facility introduced to the southern province. Lady Ridgeway Hospital says the number of children who were under treatment for COVID-19 has decreased. Flash flooding and tornadoes hit the northeastern US. That ends this news broadcast, and now it's back to Sounditavam.